Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to the channel. It's Cynicalex, and today we're going to be talking all about the epic quests in Marvel Future Fight and ranking them from best to worst. So this video is great for you to watch if you have never done an epic quest before in Marvel Future Fight, like you're a brand new player, or if you maybe have done the first couple of epic quests like Rise of the X-Men and Sorcerer Supreme, took a long break from the game, maybe took a long break from epic quests, but now you want to get back into it and figure out which one of them is better or worse for your progression. So it's going to be great for, all those types of players, in addition to the fact that we're actually not even done with the epic quest for the Eternals, but I actually think it's fine to start talking about it because my answer would basically be the same. Yes, that's right. Even though we only have half of the Eternals epic quest unlocked, I'm confident in saying that I think this is the overall best epic quest for you to start, regardless of what type of player you are. Obviously, if you've done every other epic quest except the Eternals one, you don't really have a choice, do you, Buster? But even if you haven't done any, I do think that the Eternals one is the best. Not only is it one of the cheapest epic quests, like that's a really important thing because epic quests generally are very expensive and take a lot of resources, tier 2 materials, tier 3 materials, energy, etc. Not only is it one of the cheapest, but it gives you some of the most competitive characters in the game. Cersei is one of the best blast types, Makari may very well be the best speed type, and Icarus, although lagging a little bit behind for being sort of the leader of the Eternals, is very good. So I thought about it and I was like, you know what, there's really not anything that could happen to the Eternals epic quest unless they release 3 other characters that are A, terrible statistically, they're just bad characters, and B, they're really expensive. If they did that, then maybe I have to redo this video. I'd have to delete this video and redo it. But otherwise, the answer is pretty straightforward. I think any player who hasn't completed the Eternals epic quest, if they're jumping into this part of the game, if they're going, if they're at the homepage and they're hitting enter and they're hitting epic quest, they should be hitting up the Eternals epic quest. And it's actually funny because it still has a little icon there for Sentry, but Sentry is actually my second choice. So again, I do think the Eternals one is number 1 overall, no matter what area of the game you're focusing on. My only possible asterisk, but even then you could make an argument that the Eternals might be a better investment at this point than Sentry, right? Because the Eternals epic quest costs you 400 CCF, I think, or maybe 500, versus Sentry, which is 3,000, right? So again, like the cost to value ratio is off the charts good with the Eternals. Not only is Cersei free, you can farm Icarus, so he's sort of free, and then it's just Makari that costs crystals, but she costs way less. So even from a PvP point of view, I would have to give it up to Eternals, and I would have to put the Sentry epic quest second. But overall, I would say that if you've already completed the Eternals epic quest, then the Sentry epic quest is the second best one to complete. Not only do you get an amazing PvP character in Sentry himself, but you get an amazing PvE sort of yin and yang in Moonstone, which is there, and then you get a really, really good farmable free character in Scorpion. Now, keep in mind, this advice overall is an idea, or it sort of operates under the idea that you're going to complete the epic quest 0 to 100%. But you should obviously start all of these epic quests and, just get far enough in there, partner, so that you can farm all of the free characters, right? So that you can farm Scorpion, so that you can farm whoever it is here, like Gamora and Nebula and Punisher, so that you can farm Human Torch and Thing. You obviously want to do that, but I'm saying going the full way, doing the full investment, getting all the way to the end of the quest, obviously that's the most expensive thing to do. I think the Sentry epic quest is the second best one to choose from because, like I said, you get one extremely strong PvP character in Sentry, and then you get one extremely strong PvE character with a very nice free-to-play option in the middle, which also covers your sort of speed villain tag, which is quite rare to find a free option for that. After that, it gets a little bit trickier, but I still think it sort of follows in order, which is kind of nice. The Eternals one is first, Sentry is second, and then I actually do think Guardians of the Galaxy is third. Despite how much better Doctor Doom has gotten recently, there's just a lot of value still locked in this epic quest. Not only do you not have access to tier 3's Star-Lord unless you do the epic quest, sort of like the Eternals, but Beta Ray Bill is kind of waiting for you at the end, and although he's a more expensive Awakened character, he's still very, very good, and as a Universal, he's really only competing with the likes of Supergiant and other Universal Transcended characters, so their cost is definitely even more higher. Like it's even more compounded than Beta Ray Bill's cost. So not as many good characters here. Nova Richard Ryder, has fallen off pretty hard, sort of like Psylocke did as a crystal character. So I don't think he compares at all to Makari or Moonstone. Like, it's just there's no chance. Maybe if he gets a tier 3 or Transcendence, but we don't know when that's happening. And then unfortunately, the rest of the characters here basically have no use. Richard, Ryder, and Phyla-Vell only have use for ABX, so that would be your only consideration. But believe it or not, despite that, Star-Lord and Beta Ray Bill actually carry this epic quest, whereas when you get to these 4 epic quests, the value is either less or it's locked behind more gates. So yeah, my top 3 are basically the 3 that you see there: Eternals, then Sentry, then Guardians of the Galaxy. 4th place, again, although it is tough, I would give it to the Fantastic Four. Now, most of the value, I believe, is locked up in 3 characters: Human Torch, Doctor Doom, and Mr. Fantastic. So that's really where I think this epic quest shines. She-Hulk, you don't really need her for most content. Victorious, you basically don't need her for any content. You don't need Thing, you don't need Crystal, and you don't really need Invisible Woman. She's good for PvP, but that's, again, something that you take on a case-by-case basis. So it's really just those 3 male characters that I mentioned. And I have to mention, Doctor Doom's one of the most expensive characters in the game. You got to get all these other characters. You don't have to get, them to tier 3. You don't have to tier 3 Mr. Fantastic, but you have to finish the epic quest. You got to get all these characters tier 2, and then you start with your 1-star Doctor Doom, and then you work your way up from there, right? Whereas on the flip side, Gladiator is the one waiting for you here, but you don't have to get Gladiator, right? But and so you can get Star-Lord and get Beta Ray Bill, and you're extracting 90% of the value in characters from that epic quest, right? You get Sentry and you get Moonstone, and again, you've extracted like 90% of the value. Molecule Man has a very small niche as a PvP leadership. That's all. Gladiator has no use. Doctor Doom is a good like 40 to 50% of the value in this epic quest. So again, finishing this epic quest is just the beginning of your journey to extract most of the value from this epic quest through Doctor Doom. If you're not going to do that, you're not going to get his 3099 uniform, etc. What are you doing? Just get Human Torch and get out of there. After that, it's honestly kind of dicey. I know some of you are coming for me in the comments by now. You're probably saying, Alex, you're forgetting about Jean Grey. I'm not forgetting about Jean Grey. She's not even top 5 for PvP anymore. I honestly think at this point, there's more value in doing the Sorcerer Supreme epic quest. And I know saying that sounds weird because I like Wolverine so much, and you can get Wolverine and Jean Grey, but there's just not enough extra value there to justify it. And on the flip side, the Doctor Strange epic quest is cheaper. Now, the only reason you could say the good argument to pick Rise of the X-Men over Sorcerer Supreme is that Phoenix Feathers and Mcron crystals, in general, the X-Men materials are a finite resource. So if you want to justify it from an efficiency point of view and say, well, I don't want these materials to cap out, and then I'm just collecting nothing every day, Alex. Like, I'm not interested in going to my inventory and seeing these red numbers. I feel you. If that's the case, then yeah, start with this quest first, because if you're going to go all the way with Wolverine tier 3, all the way with Rogue tier 3, all the way with Jean Grey tier 3, you have some decent value characters. You have some great and good value characters there. Like, Wolverine's excellent, Rogue is excellent, Jean Grey is pretty good, and Cyclops is a good leadership. Storm is a good support. That being said, Magneto has very little value at this point in the game. He's just an X-Men leadership. That's basically all he's good for. And then, like I said, it's going to be more expensive than the Doctor Strange epic quest. On the flip side, the Doctor Strange epic quest, you're really only doing it for one character, and that is the Good Doctor. So it really just comes down to what you need more of. But Doctor Strange is still very, very good. He's number 1 for Shadowland. He's number 1 for Timeline Survival. He can still carry you through World Boss Ultimate, although he's not going to do too much noise in World Boss Legend. He's not that far behind. I mean, he's probably better than Jean Grey for World Boss Legend, and he's probably not that far behind Wolverine. Only Rogue really eclipses him. But again, we're comparing 3 characters to 1, so it's not really that fair. So it's kind of a toss-up when you get to Rise of the X-Men and Sorcerer Supreme. I don't really have, a finite answer for you. I sort of lean towards Sorcerer Supreme. There's more characters that'll fill out your roster for ABX or Shadowland, that'll fill out your roster for, a co-op and stuff like that. And it's cheaper, but you also have the finite resource to consider, and you do have a higher overall potential when you consider what Rogue can do in PvE and what Wolverine can do, and then also what Jean Grey can do in PvP, despite not being first, second, or third overall anymore. But keep in mind, again, she's the most expensive character, like Doctor Doom, and if you're gonna complete one of these trees to get the character at the top, especially for PvP, Doctor Doom is way cheaper than Jean Grey. Again, it's a finite resource. I understand that. You can hoard as much black antimatter and chaos thorn stones as you want, so it's a different story there. But ask any PvP player, would you take Dr. Doom or would you take Jean Grey? You got to buy their uniforms either way. 99 out of 100 players are taking Dr. Doom, right? He's a little bit more expensive than Jean Grey, but he's like twice as good. And last but not least, believe it or not, that leaves the Deadpool epic quest. Now, this was hard to realize, but yeah, if I'm being honest, I go number 1 Eternals, number 2 Sentry, number 3 Guardians of the Galaxy, number 4 or 4th Fantastic Four, haha, and then let's say number 5 Rise of the X-Men, number 6 Sorcerer Supreme, and that leaves no one left to take last place except Wade Wilson. And honestly, it's a combination of things that have really led to this being the case, but the most important one is that just the majority of the characters here have not been reworked. There's just 2 characters on this list that have gotten a meaningful rework in the last 2-3 years since the epic quest came out in September 2018. Deadpool and Cable. That's it. Strife has never gotten anything. Phantom X never got anything. Psylocke never got any. Well, she got a uniform. That's it. And then Domino and Colossus. So yeah, there's a lot of value here. There certainly can be if Colossus gets a tier 3 or a Transcendence. Strife could be right back in the meta to counter Wolverine and Hulk if he gets a tier 3 or whatever. But these are big ifs. These are very, very big ifs. And Psylocke has no business competing with Moonstone and Makari on any day of the week, under any circumstances. She's just way too far behind. So really, because you can get Cable without having to do this epic quest at all. So really, this epic quest is only to get Colossus if you need to get him for free to use as a support for PvP, which is kind of flimsy. And then Deadpool, I guess. Once upon a time, Deadpool was really good for the 99, 100% all defense down that he had with his, or that she had, Lady Deadpool had, Holiday Lady Deadpool, with the 5th skill combo. But that's no longer the case. Not only are there many more characters that can stack up to 100% or use weapon hex and use their 6th skill, their awakened skill, whatever, to one-shot combo. I mean, a character like Beta Ray Bill, for example, is a perfect example of this. Not only that, but there's way less of an entry, right? Whereas you need to get Deadpool to tier 2 to tier 3, you got to get the new uniform. The uniform only comes around once a year on Christmas. Ay. There's so many hoops I got to jump through just to make this one character work. Thanks. You'll have just as much luck buying comic cards when they come out monthly from the token event, hoping to get a premium card, and then building it up and getting a little bit of Pierce. If you get just a little bit of Pierce, 2%, 4%, 6%, you're already going to start to see massive diminishing returns on stacking all defense down. Stacking all defense down was the meta 2 years ago. It's not the meta anymore. Things have moved on, and although Deadpool is still good for players who don't have any of those things, I would argue that it's as difficult to get those things as it is to wait an entire year until Christmas, unless you're watching right now, to buy a uniform for a character that you're going to buy to do exactly one move. That's all he's going to be able to do. That's all Deadpool does, is just World Boss. Deadpool does it well, don't get me wrong. Corvus, Cull Obsidian, Proxima, but that's it. That's the only thing Deadpool does. And I think by now, there's better characters for that. So yeah, unfortunately, that is the worst epic quest. And so it sort of leaves us with a video that also, if you play it in reverse, highlights the epic quest characters that need to be reworked the most urgently. Especially given the fact that Deadpool, not Wolverine, that Deadpool got an upgrade this year in February for the 30th anniversary. Rob Liefeld, probably upset with that one because it missed in a big way. It says 30 years there, but it definitely was not a banner year for Deadpool in the meta department. So yeah, hit me up in the comments down below. Let me know what you think of my ranking. Just to summarize one more time, it's Eternals number 1, Dark Reign Sentry number 2, Galactic Imperative Guardians of the Galaxy number 3, First Family Fantastic Four number 4, Rise of the X-Men, let's say number 5, tied for number 5 is Sorcerer Supreme or number 6, and then that leaves unfortunately number 7 as X-Force. Now, also hit me up in the comments down below, letting me know how much more value you think is going to be injected into the Eternals Epic Quest when we get those last 3 squares unlocked. Is it going to be 25%, 50%? How far and away better is this epic quest going to look compared to every other epic quest in the game? Because it's already ahead in my opinion, and it still has half to go. Thanks so much for watching. Smash the like button if you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Take care.